Hey, my fellow golf ball addicts, welcome back. We are continuing our top 100 countdown. 39 through 30 is up today. So, I mean, look, if you're watching this video, you're already here, you know what we're about. Let's dive right in. Guys, I've mentioned them a couple times before. I just want to give another shout out to Magic Mind. It's really been helping me get through these videos. And like I've said before, you can get 45% off if you click that link in the comment section. It's the pinned comment as well as in the description. You can get that link there as well. I appreciate a lot what Magic Mind's been doing for me. I love taking these, so I got to take one anyway. Might as well do it now. Refreshing. All right, let's start, of course, with number 39. And at number 39, we have the Speed Soft Ink. And this was actually, you know, TaylorMade improved a lot of their golf ball designs this year, but the one in particularly, that got the ball rolling, pun intended, was the Speed Soft, because it was actually the first golf ball I reviewed from season 4. I saw this crazy ink design that they came out with. I said, I got to get my hands on those. We tried it out, we played it. And you know, it's not a perfect ball by any means. It's definitely in that super soft category. So it's for a slow swinger, you know, 80s, somewhere in there. But there's a lot of things I like about it. I really love the design, like I said. I love how it feels coming off the club. It does have a really soft, explosive type feel. I also love the 50-yard spin. As you can see there, 7,800 RPM from a two-piece golf ball. That's really awesome. And that's what I tell a lot of you guys when you tell me, you know, hey, I want a lot of spin, so I got to have a 3 or a 4-piece. Guys, they're making two-piece golf balls now that spin a lot, and that kind of proves that right there. So I love to see that. Another big thing here, as you can see, was the 9-iron performance, the 7-iron performance. Really good there. Now, once I got into the 5 hybrid and I got into the driver, I started to over compress it a little bit and my numbers dropped off. That's why it's so low, but it does have those really unique designs. It comes in yellow, it comes in white, it has a decent alignment tool. Some of you don't like how busy the golf ball is, and I get that, but that's why having those different designs help. Price point wise, $25 a dozen. Again, that's on the higher side, like the Callaway Super Soft, so it does kind of take a hit on value a little bit. But overall, it's still a really strong effort. This golf ball replaced the Soft Response, which in hindsight, I really just didn't care for at all. So it's a massive improvement. TaylorMade's on the right direction. They really improved a lot of their golf balls this year by softening them up a little bit. And you'll notice there's been some other TaylorMade golf balls that I haven't even mentioned yet. So good year, TaylorMade. I'm not a TaylorMade guy, but you had a good year, and I'm impressed. At 38, we have the Odin X1. So this was an interesting golf ball. It was requested by a couple of you. I appreciate that. And the first thing I noticed when I went to order the golf balls is I noticed that Ping actually has their seal of approval. Right next to the golf balls, it clearly states that this is Ping approved, and this is the golf ball that Ping uses in their testing, which since Ping doesn't have a golf ball anymore, I always figured one day Ping would either come out with another one or they would side with somebody, you know, and kind of have a deal. So to go with a company like Odin definitely is from left field and a surprise, but for good reason. I mean, look at where the golf ball's at. Here's what I noticed during my testing. Incredible performance across the board. I mean, everything really, really good. Maybe nothing perfect, but everything at 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. I love how the feel was. It really sprung off the club a lot. It had 7,400 RPM on the backspin when it came to the 50-yard pitch, which isn't fantastic, but it is good. I mean, it definitely is going to stick a green, no problem. Durability, about an 8 out of 10, so it definitely will get the job done. Really, the only thing that hurts this golf ball a lot is a couple of things. One is the design of it. You know, design's kind of one of those things where I know some of you don't care, but this golf ball's design was bad enough to where even the community came forward and was like, I don't know if I could play that or not, because one, there's no alignment tool. It just says Odin X1. Really disappointing. Just put an alignment tool on there. Come on. But also the logo. It has such a big font, and it's just such a plain font that a lot of you really felt like it was kind of pieced together real quick. Like, oh, hey, we forgot to make a font bold. Okay, here you go. You know, and it just didn't seem like there was a lot of thought put into it. Also, value-wise, $39 a dozen isn't bad for a 3-piece urethane, but when you're considering it's in that middle range, like it's close to what Vice is. Now, I will give Odin some credit. They do have a cash back program, 20% back. So you buy $40 worth of golf balls, they give you $8 in credit, right? So you can buy more golf balls. So that helps too. But again, the value could have just been a little bit better, but it's still pretty good. So pretty good performance across the board, pretty good price point, you know, pretty good this, pretty good that, and it gets you in the 30s. So it's a great golf ball, and it's definitely worth some of your time, especially if you're a ping guy. If you want to keep with the whole ping thing and, you know, be all pinged out, this is the golf ball pings put their trust in. You can go with that, and then maybe you'll have a story to tell when people ask you why you're playing that ball. At number 37, we have the Wilson Staff model, one of my favorite golf balls tested for sure. I love what Wilson's been doing. Wilson always has this classy, sophisticated look to it, the design. It's probably one of my favorite designs on a golf ball. It really is. When I look at it, I just think champion. I think victory. I think, oh, I really love it a lot. It's a great design, but also what really stood out to me about the Wilson is when that robotic test from Today's Golfer come out. I've mentioned it a few times. Wilson's like in the top 3 on everything, whether it's accuracy, whether it's distance, whether it's ball speed, whether it's, you know, whatever it is. Wilson is just, Wilson was really, my big takeaway was that Wilson just swept that awards. I know it doesn't seem that way because sometimes they were 2, sometimes they were 4, but when you look at it across the board and you see what they did, Wilson is making some really big moves. Now, why does it end up in the 30s? Well, it's still a little too firm for my swing speed. The first thing I noticed is the spin is really, really low, especially with the 50-yard pitch. It was in the 6,000 range. It's just not going to get it done, especially for me, because also that value of being at $50 a dozen just isn't really that great either. That's really expensive. Every once in a while, you can get them buy 2, get 1 free, but again, that's a rare thing, and most of the time, you're going to be buying them for 50 a pop, and so for an average swinger like me, an average Joe, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But I will say this, the durability was a 9 out of 10. I love to see that. It's just too advanced for me. It's a really great golf ball. If you are a Pro V1 player or a Chrome Tour player or whatever, right? Say you play either of those golf balls or any of the Tour ones and you are thinking about switching, you're thinking about trying it up, this has to be the first golf ball on your list. It just does. It has to be the first one because not only did I have success with it and I could see the potential, the robotic test, it's just wiping the floor with it. Look, am I saying it's going to be perfect for you? No, it might not be. You know, you might prefer the Wilson X or maybe just a different ball altogether, but this is the one that you just have to try because it's right now, it's really probably the best tour ball in golf, period. Performance-wise, across the board, whether it's human testing, robotic testing, this is probably the #1 tour golf ball that you can buy right now. Alrighty then, at 36 we have the TaylorMade TP5X. So again, flowers to TaylorMade here. If you had asked me 2 years ago to list the TaylorMade TP5X, actually even on last year's list, it was way lower. We had it nominated for Biggest Surprise in our Golf Ball Attic Awards. Again, it just goes back to softening the golf ball up. You know, they continue to make improvements on these balls every single year, and softening this golf ball up did a lot for it. This is a golf ball that when I used to hit it, I would injure myself. I would hit it and my wrist would snap into 2 and it'd break and the club would go flying. The club would snap in half because it was the firmest golf ball I'd ever hit. At one point, I kid you not, I had actually put an old, you know, Rock Flight, Top Rock, whatever you want to call it, either way. I put both of them from the 90s, mind you. I put both of them side by side and I actually preferred the Top Flight, because that's how firm this golf ball was a few years ago. They have just softened it up so much, and the results are here, and I'll go through them with you. Even though this golf ball is clearly not for my golfing level, it's clearly not for my swing speed, this is still what happened. So first of all, a good 7-iron performance. Really loved what I got from there. A great 5 and driver performance. Both of those were excellent. I actually did get some okay accuracy with it. Not great, but it actually had okay forgiveness for a tour ball despite that fact. 8 out of 10 durability, not as great as I'd liked it, but it was still really good. The other thing that's really, really going well for TaylorMade is their designs as far as the picks, as far as the stripe, which they implemented this year. They came out with like the Red Bull collab. They have the customized tool. TaylorMade's really doing a lot when it comes to the design and allowing you to kind of play it your way, which we really like here. So there's just a lot of improvements, and when you add all those up, it's good. Now, why is it still in the 30s? Well, like I said, I have no business playing this golf ball. It's way too firm as far as being for my swing speed. Now, granted, it's not as firm as it was, but it's still too firm. This is meant for someone who's swinging 115 miles an hour. So that's really who should be playing it. I didn't get a great 9-iron performance. 7-iron was just okay because I couldn't compress the golf ball with those slower swing speeds. 80 mile an hour with a 9-iron, 84 with a 7-iron. That's just not enough. Now, once I got to 100 with the driver, it started compressing okay, but other than that, that's how most firmer golf balls do. Also, the value, 55, 57 a dozen. Arg, matey! At 35, we have the Deadspin Tour. Kind of a one from left field here because, as you guys know, I tested 2 Deadspin balls. They're pirate themed. That's why the voice was there, in case you were wondering. I'm not that big of a goofball. But the other golf ball I tested, the Deadspin Pro, was horrendous. And you saw that way, way, way back on this list, like toward the bottom. 80s, 90s, 100s, somewhere in there. I can't remember. It was bad. But when I tested the Tour model, it's $30 a dozen. It's not urethane. It comes in a matte finish. But I had much more success with it. A couple things I really liked from it was it had a 7.5 hybrid, and driver performance were all above average and really good. I love the unique designs of it. It has this really cool logo that's very simplistic. Also, the black looks really cool. Now, you can't find that black in the fairway, good luck, but it also comes like in a cool gold color, as well as a couple other interesting, unique ones. That price is a good price point. It has 9 out of 10 durability, really close to being a perfect durability score, which I love to see. What really hurt this golf ball is, one, the 50-yard pitch. I don't want my golf ball to always hit the green and rip back to me. It doesn't need to, but I need it to kind of hit and stop, and this one didn't. This one had a few yards of rollout, and I find myself when I play it on the course, sometimes it hits and just rolls out, and unfortunately, I got to have a little more than that. I'm not super picky, but it does kind of affect your game, so that's definitely, it was significant enough that it really dropped it down. Also, the 9-iron was just okay. I didn't compress it a lot. I didn't feel that good. Short iron performance, just not where I want it to be, and because of that, it gets shot down into the 30s, but still a decent golf ball. I don't recommend getting it in black because, like I said, you can hit a black golf ball straight down the fairway and good luck finding it. It just blends in for some reason. You wouldn't think black blends in with green, but for some godly reason, it absolutely does. I don't know. At number 34, we have the Snell 3.0. Now, as I touched on the 4.0 last, or a couple videos ago, last video, whatever it was, there was that fire in the golf ball factory. Snell had to reroute. This golf ball got one of the worst scores. Actually, no. The worst score from My Golf Spy ever, because the balls weren't round and there was a lot of inconsistencies and weight and all kinds of stuff. Give Snell time. They'll be back. I'm looking at this golf ball kind of from a lens of an average golfer here. So, I mean, if you're an advanced golfer and you're playing in competitions or you're playing with your friends for money, again, don't buy this golf ball because, yeah, there's probably some inconsistencies. But if you're a Snell fan, here are some things really good about this golf ball because it did get in the 30s, keep in mind. It has really great 50-yard spin. It really checks up a lot. It has a very soft, explosive feel to it. It has great 9-iron performance. The 7-iron was just okay, but when you got to the 5 hybrid and the driver, both of those were well above average, which I love to see. Durability-wise, unfortunately, around a 6 out of 10, which is better than it could have been, but that definitely propels it down. Value-wise, coming around like $33 a dozen, you can get it down to $29, 3-piece urethane. That's still a really good value. So, unfortunately for Snell, because the competition is so great, these little details matter. So, even though Snell 3.0 is a great golf ball, and I would still recommend it, people are going to see that My Golf Spy review and hear that and still go, okay, well, I looked at Nick's reviews and there's 5 golf balls I really like. Snell 3.0 was one. okay, well now I'm just going to eliminate that one, right? Because I already have 4 other ones that don't have an issue with those durability. And so that's where Snell's really going to suffer. But I still believe in Snell. I know that the factory they're with right now is not going to be the factory for the future, that's for sure. So I'm going to give them another year. I'll give them a one-off here. You're allowed to have a stinker every once in a while, and I'm sure they're going to come back even stronger in 25. At number 33, we have Skirt! The Bridgestone Tour BXS. See, that was a tire screeching, and because it's a tire and Bridgestone. Anyway, so the Bridgestone golf balls, if you remember a couple videos ago, I had the RXS and the RX. I remembered. I'm getting better at those names after 5 years. Those golf balls didn't test as well. And what's really weird about that is the fact that those are for my swing speed. So the golf balls that are for my swing speed, I did not as good with. The golf ball that was supposed to be the spinning golf ball ended up being the distance golf ball for me. And the golf ball that was the distance golf ball ended up spinning a ton for me. So Bridgestone's trying to work through this. I mean, I think there's a lot of inconsistencies here. I like what Bridgestone did this year. They made improvements, but they've still got a lot of stuff to work out still. I mean, there's confusion here. But what's really cool is, one, I haven't even mentioned the X yet, so keep that in mind. But the XS actually does a lot right, despite the fact that it's not for my swing speed. A couple things I really, really like from it. One is that the ball speed across the board is just outstanding. Now, distance-wise, it's incredible too, but there's also no spin. Like, this golf ball has really, really low spin. And again, this is supposed to be the spinning model. So that's really weird that it doesn't have that. So why that is, I don't know. Tiger switched from this ball to the X this year, and it's obvious why, because the X is way better. But the fact that you market this for spin, and it's not, it's a distance ball. It actually reminds me a lot of the Wilson Staff, which again is a distance ball. So low spin, more distance, lower flight, penetrating. And that's what this ball does, but you can't tell me it's a spinning golf ball and then it has no spin. The 50-yard pitch was abysmal. I mean, I couldn't even get it to check up. And so a lot of things need to get there. But again, when we're talking about the distance and the ball speed across all the clubs, it really was awesome. I mean, it was really good stuff. So that helped it get into the 30s by its performance alone. I like what they did with the mindset review, or design this year. That was kind of unique. It's not perfect, but hey, at least they're trying something. Value-wise, 50, you know the drill, 50. Okay, it's not good, it's not great, it's just okay, it's kind of meh. But again, I wish there was a little more consistency in these numbers, but because of such a strong performance, it gets in the 30s. So good for you, Bridgestone. I really appreciate it. But the real McCoy, not to spoil anything because I haven't mentioned it yet, but the real McCoy is that X model, for sure. So when we get to that one, I might have a little more glowing of a review. At number 32, we have another TaylorMade. This is like the seed video before, but now we're getting into TaylorMades. And this one actually, I didn't release the re-review of it, but this is again why the community and why your guys' opinions matter. So when I was doing the Golf Ball Awards, and I did fan favorite, which is you guys voted for your favorite golf ball of the year. I saw Vice Air, I saw Vice Pro Plus, I saw Legato, and then all of a sudden, here comes from the rear, I see TaylorMade Tour Response Stripe, Tour Response Stripe, Tour, and I'm sitting there going, what? Like, because I didn't care for it. I mean, it was okay. It was okay. I think it was in the 60s or 70s last year, and I originally was going to put it somewhere in there this year, and because I never did a re-review on it or anything, and I got to thinking, and I thought, if this many people are calling it their golf ball of the year, I got to retest it. Maybe I missed something. And so I did. I went through, I retested it, and here we are. I mean, it's in the 30s. It really performed well for me. Let's talk about the Stripe. The Stripe is a game changer. It's the best alignment tool that we have. They come in a variety of colors now. The America is the one I've been, this one right here, the America design is the one I've been using recently. I absolutely love that America design. Really unique, really personable. You can just play it in the regular or yellow. They give you, design options. But what I also really, really loved was 7,500 RPM on the spin, 50-yard pitch. That's awesome. 9 out of 10 durability, almost a perfect score there. an incredible 9-iron performance, a great 7-iron performance, a very good driver performance. The value is just okay, and the 5 hybrid was you know, and sometimes that hybrid sneaky, it'll do that, but the hybrid performance was just The value at 43 a dozen's kind of on that side. I mean, it's close to the middle, but it's on this side. It's on the side of that being at 43. But it's still a great golf ball. I'm glad I retested it. Definitely worthy of being in the low 30s, and honestly, a lot of you really like it. So I'm glad that, again, your opinion matters here for sure. I sometimes miss. I also missed on the Wilson Triad. Oh, you mean the one from, oh wait, no, I haven't mentioned that one yet. So keep that in mind. At number 31, we have the Lazarus L3R. Now this one was, again, one of those underground, comes from nowhere. As you know, Lazarus makes a lot of, or if you don't know, excuse me, Lazarus makes a lot of budget clubs like wedges and hybrids. People really love them though. It's kind of like how Tour Exotics started out. You know, they come out and not a lot of people know them. Everyone kind of pushes them and writes them off, and then the user reviews start coming in, and it's like, no, I love them, I love them, I love them, and then pretty soon it just kind of word of mouth, and everyone's like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta try these. Well, this year Lazarus decided to come out and make their own golf ball, and it's a 3-piece urethane, little firmer on the clickier side, but it comes out at $20 a dozen. Now that's on Amazon. If you look on Lazarus's website, they sell them for like 40 or something like that, 35, 40. I don't know why there's such a price, you know, disparity there, but Amazon, you can get them for $20 a dozen, and at that price, the value is insane. 3-piece urethane for $20. That's kind of like what the Spalding SD Tour wanted to be, but the performance numbers for this one, light years better. Let's go over a couple of them here. Incredible spin with the 50-yard pitch, 7,700 RPM. Love that. You know, 9-iron performance, average. You know, 7-iron performance, average. But then when we get to the 5 hybrid, because the golf ball is clickier and firmer, now I have a great 5 hybrid performance, and I have a really decent driver performance as well. So design gets the job done. It has their signature logo. It has a great alignment tool. It looks like a premium golf ball, not a super premium golf ball, but it gets the job done for sure. 8 out of 10 durability. And again, what really propels this golf ball so high is the value. It's what you're getting versus what you're paying. You're getting a golf ball that I would call just as good of a performance as some of the ones from last video, or, you know, even from some of the ones for this video, but the difference is it's $20 a dozen. You know, the Tour Response Stripe is a great golf ball, but at $43 a dozen compared to $20, I'm going to look at a side-by-side comparison because you're talking more than double the price, right? Now, is the Tour Response better? It might be. I'd have to look at that. But what I'm saying is when you have that low of a price, you got to start comparing it. You got to see, because if you're only losing a yard or two, or you're only losing a little bit of spin, or whatever the case may be, if the Lazarus even kind of fits in your swing, you might consider it. And that's why, I mean, for your first golf ball, it was really phenomenal. So fantastic job, Lazarus. That's really rare to come out with a golf ball your first attempt. First attempt as far as I know. If I'm wrong, you can make fun of me. But this is the first I'd ever heard of it and first I'd ever seen of it. I mean, it's hard not to be impressed. At number 30, we have the Trust Bison V. So the X was way back on this list. It was just the X model. It was too firm. It was for a faster swing speed. This is now the one that is for my swing speed. They came out with a new model this year. If you haven't heard of it, it's a direct-to-consumer Amazon company. And again, just a lot of really good here. You know, maybe nothing perfect, but a lot of really good. We have 7,400 on your RPM, really good backspin there. You know, the 9-iron performance was great. 7-iron performance was record-breaking. I mean, I'm talking insane levels of ball speed. Good 5 hybrid performance, good driver performance. The design of it is awesome. It has a great alignment tool. It has this glitter coating that really makes it easy to see. So like, I originally in the video had said it kind of looked feminine to me, not in a bad way, but just like, because of the glitter, you know what I mean? But come to find out, a lot of you really like that design. I like the design. I had a buddy, you know, my buddy Alex came over. You hear about him on the channel all the time. He came over, he looked at it, he was like, this is cool. He goes, I don't see very well. He goes, I can see this golf ball in the grass really well. So just a lot of uniqueness to it. Now, as far as why it didn't get a little higher, well, one, the price is just okay. It's $40 MSRP. You can sometimes get them for $35, so that helps. but the MSRP at 40, and then durability-wise, it was a 7 out of 10 also. So because it wasn't perfect on those two accounts, it did kind of bring it back a little bit. But again, it's just such a great golf ball. It really is. I was really impressed with it. There's a lot of positivity here, especially with your short irons, your mid irons. If you struggle with that, this is a really good golf ball to try out for sure. It's got to be on your radar. Has a great feel. It putts well. It checks up. There's just so many great things. Love to see that. Great job, Trust, this year. I look forward to testing the Aurora, and the Panther as well. Look out for those in 2025. Guys, that is 39 through 30. And as you can see from what we just did, these are a lot of golf balls that have a lot of positives. There's some record-breaking stuff in here. There's some 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s. It's really good. And like I said, these are all golf balls I would recommend. These are all golf balls that fit some type of golfer in some way, so they could be on your list. I love, love, love to see it. So, guys, we have 29 through 20 coming up in a couple days. Now we're kind of getting to the top 30 where, these golf balls are all excellent. I would say, 29 through 20, all the golf balls are at least very good. 20 through, 10 or 20, whatever, 19 through 10, all excellent. And then when you get to that top 10, that is just the cream of the crop. So from here on out, guys, it's all gravy. Once again, thank you to Magic Mind, guys. Be sure to check that out in the description and in the top pinned comment. See you soon. Keep watching, keep saving, keep learning. Love you guys. Till next time.